Once upon a time, there lived a poor farmer in a village. One night, the farmer climbed up a mountain to gather chestnuts. Since there were a lot of chestnuts, the farmer gathered them so busily that he couldn't recognize the day getting dark. As the day got darker, the startled farmer climbed down the mountain frantic. However, it was too dark to find a way home. Wandering in the woods, he found a cave. He went into the cave and intended to stay there until morning. He soon fell asleep. Suddenly, rumbling sounds around him woke him up. The gate of the cave brightened, and then came a group of people into the cave. "What the heck? Can they be bandits?" he said. It was so terrifying that he quickly hid himself behind a huge bumpy rock. Surprisingly, it was not a group of bandits, but goblins that came in the cave. The cave was a den of the goblins. They started to play with each other, joking and playing prank on themselves. Among all the other goblins, one held a black cat on its hand. While joking and picking on each other, the goblin put on the hat all of a sudden. Guess what? The goblin disappeared like mist. Then the other goblins started to fumble around to find the disappeared goblin. After a moment, the goblin showed up on the opposite side with the hat removed. Goblins played hide-and-seek, repeating the procedure over and over. Gazing at the unbelievable sight for a while, the farmer got hungry. He fumbled in his pocket and grabbed a chestnut. He had a bite of it. Thud! The sound of the chestnut cracking echoed in the cave and sounded like the gunshot or thunder. The goblins that were having fun were frightened and they ran out of the cave competitively. The farmer caught the moment as a chance and tried to escape the cave. That was when he saw the hat goblins were playing with. The farmer grabbed it and tumbled down the mountain. The farmer who returned home called his wife immediately. He then put on the black hat. "Good heavens, where are you? What happened?" As he disappeared, his wife started seeking for her husband. As the farmer put off the hat, his figure appeared again. "Dear, what is it? What a strange thing you found." The farmer told all about what happened in the woods. The couple was seduced by the mysterious hat. The farmer conspired with his wife and made a plot to make a profit with the hat. A few days later, a big fair opened in the village, and the farmer headed into it, hiding the hat behind his back. As he reached the street crowded with bustling people, he hid himself in a back street and put on the hat secretly. In a glance, he disappeared. The farmer started stealing money and things, walking by people on the street. He stole an ornamental hairpin and a set of 2 rings for his wife and rice cake for himself. He also stole money from merchants. Nobody could suspect that the thief is around them. When the farmer returned home with lots of costly stolen stuff and money, his wife was very pleased. The couple lived joyfully, wearing costly clothes and eating valuable food with their stolen money. How easy it was to earn a lot of money at once. The farmer regretted the past when he plowed fields and nurtured crops, putting much effort. One day, the farmer was stealing clothes with his hat on as usual. As he was walking by a man who was smoking a cigarette, fire sparked from the tobacco pipe next to the farmer. The fire transferred to the farmer's hat and made a big hole on it. The farmer returned home at once and asked his wife to fix the hat. She mended the hat with a piece of red cloth. On the next day, the farmer went out to steal things again. Unlike the expectation, people could see the red cloth. As the red cloth passed by, things disappeared and money vanished. People were puzzled at the sight. As such abnormal things repeated, people gathered around and put their heads together to decide what to do. When the red cloth appears, things go missing, so the red cloth must be the thief, the chief of villagers said. I agree. Whenever the cloth appears, my basket goes empty. We must catch the cloth, a villager said. As the sun rose on the market day, people pretended that they knew nothing of the red cloth and waited and waited. The red cloth finally showed its figure after a while. People threw glances to each other. Whirl! Then a big net fell over the cloth. At last the red cloth was caught. People rushed into the red cloth and started kicking it. "Hey, whatever you are, you think you can get away with all your mischief? You messed with the wrong man," a furious merchant said. The farmer who didn't know that the red cloth was visible was quite shocked. He thought he would soon die with all those kicking and punching. He barely got out of the net, holding the hat tightly, and ran fast as he could. He was bruised black and blue and was bleeding on his elbow and knees. He made a definite promise with himself not to put on the hat ever again. He realized his mistake and resolved to be a diligent farmer like before. He burned the mysterious hats and shared all the properties he gained by robbery with the villagers. The farmer and his wife never once again deceived others and lived honestly. They weren't rich enough, but their hearts were filled with love and faith. Villagers all loved them, and they lived happily ever after.